You know what we haven't seen too much lately, though, and I'm not complaining, is Wyvern. At least Mass Wyvern.
That's right. As I said, I'm not too educated on the matchup on this patch, but it seems to be all about the Tauren. If you can get to Tauren and transition into the late game, you got a real solid chance. If not, you surely lack damage. But yeah, I was just like you, sick and tired of the Wyvern play. I still think he's really good. Well, the strat is really good and it can do a lot of damage, but Undead's also got better against it. What else is super important here? Items. Oh, you need to pimp this Blade Master. It is a lot about damage, and you need that damage. And Blade Master's big source of damage is Critical Strike, which you can boost with items. So, fingers crossed for Lyn for some item luck and maybe some steals.
Starting off with a little bit of creeping right away. Of course, the mastery of Blade Master is to creep enough, level enough, find enough items to get strong for the late game, but also to slow down the undead in the early and find that beautiful golden middle that makes for a great early game. Because you can't just leave the DK to creep whatever he likes and you go creeping yourself, because the Death Knight with skellies and ghouls will be much faster than you. And a fast level 3 with a lot of mana, with coils then on tier 2, is going to make your life very hard indeed. So far, though, indeed, it is only creeping. Did 1-0 just pull lab? I think that was just a misclick, because that didn't seem to do anything.
Exactly. We got a couple of supporters coming in. Love to see it. Thank you, Doffel, for the 57. Thank you, Wild Live, for the 50 Norwegian krona. And Riptide, you lovely, lovely soul, closing in on the 5 years as well. Little bit of evasion creeping by 1-0, and Lyn finds him here. Sasquatch up for grabs.
The dust is in. Should be a last hit secured. Blade Master may want to think about hitting some ghouls here. Grunt coming in. Involving the Grunt can also be dangerous if that one gets surrounded. Although you can try to go for the pop-out trick. With the DK now losing some HP, all of a sudden, maybe there's an opportunity to try for a hero kill, but nah, it's too early. There's a bit more healing now as well. Death Knight getting back into the green. Level 2.5 against the level 2. And important for Lyn here to not allow that level 3 too easy.
I agree. And also stalling a bit of time. The tech for the Orc is a lot faster. You want to get the Shadow Hunter out. You want to creep. And 1-0 is slowed down just a little bit. We get Result in with the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The person who provided us with the great Google Sheet. Much love, mate. Lyn now creeping in the front yard of 1-0. Kinda brave, but all these little items stack up so far. The claw is nice, the rest is so-so. But yeah, we are waiting for tier 2, and Lyn is building some headhunters already.
Yeah, I think we saw that in WSB as well, where he went 1 or 2 grunts into headhunters. Grunts very good for the early game creeping and also scouting. Late game very bad, however. Blade Master now going to pick up that circlet that has been spotted. Once again revealed with the Dust of Appearance. And this camp would be level 3 for the DK, so he would love to be just left alone here. And Lyn playing aggressive the way he should. Grunt about to get surrounded, but perhaps you can pop him out or just fight out. That's 1 ghoul kill, 2 ghoul kills. And that is now officially a good early game, especially if Lyn gets the Sasquatch. And with the Shadow Hunter on the way, I think he will.
Absolutely. Looking good. Great control coming in with Hex. Tier 3 on the way. Beastery as well. 1-0 opens up with tier 2 with the Lich, of course, to have a little bit more firepower. Everybody knows how deadly Coil Nova is. But yeah, map control should be going for Lyn now. Thanks to the Hex, we don't have a wand of negotiation on the DK side just yet. Maybe the Lich brings it as a counterplay. I still feel that's a bit underappreciated by the top undeads.
I think so too. I mean, it is pretty expensive, and every half minute or so delay towards tier 3 towards the orb also slows down your potential as the undead player. So it's understandable, it's not so easy to afford, but against Hex especially, it can be so insanely good. Specifically against the Wyvern play, when we used to see that all the time, where Hex was so important in the mid game, I feel like this was very much underappreciated. But now it is a no Wyvern here. We're going to tier 3 with the Bestiary, and there might still be a Torrent Totem coming. We'll see.
Ooh, Hex on the DK. There's no TP, no staff. We got another Hex coming. Windwalk, Lin explodes. Is there Frost Armor maybe to save him here? Nova, but Speed Scroll against it. Perfect execution by Lin with the backstab. Gets the kill. And I don't think there's any discussion who wins the early game now.
Yeah, really well done here by Lin, showing great game sense as well. You want to focus the DK when there's a chance, but of course don't just waste your mana and your potential when the DK is too high HP. But here, exactly when the DK was barely low enough, that's when Lin goes for the execute, gets the kill here. Well done, and that will get him far ahead, especially if, again, he gets the Sasquatch item. Also, though, I think we have to say this. This is pretty sloppy by 1-0. Normally, you know, when the DK is at 300, you back off. There's Hex, there's Speed Scroll. That's not a risk you want to take.
There we go.
There's another Speed Scroll, by the way.
There is. Crazy Speed Scroll play. Good body blocks as well. The crit for 138. Lin, pure dominance. Lin sanity in the mid game. Saves the Headhunters on top as well. And 1-0 has a lot of catching up to do. Still no level 3. Both heroes dead. He can't do anything on the map right now.
Knows exactly that is the case. He's going to take the enemy Warlord item right here. Big mana, big healing, one of Mana Seal. So many good items here. And if he gets both consumables after both hero kills, can't think of a much bigger lead than this.
That's crazy, man. He could surely benefit from an expansion. But yeah, his macro is on point, his micro is on point, his decision making is on point. Lin coming in hot. I asked him if there's a reason why he has only so few games at the moment, because, you know, he only has 3 series right now. And he said, bro, it's not my fault. The Orga makes the schedule. I was ready to play. So they save the best for last, and Lin surely coming in shape.
Yeah, he is, as always, the big hope for the Orcs out there. We saw Fly in the standings. He's had the roughest time of it, but also focus wasn't bad, I shouldn't say that, but wasn't blowing us away, really. It's up to Lin to do just that. And first map of the day today, that has been a fantastic early game indeed. Normally Undead on tier 3 with Frenzy is supposed to take the lead in the game and work with an advantage from that point on, whereas Orc gets stronger and stronger the longer the game goes. But I don't know what kind of a power spike timing 1-0 can realistically hope for.
Yeah, I agree. It's just full recovery mode, but how are you supposed to recover? An expansion, a sneaky one, is always a way to get back, but Lin's scouting should be on point as always. And as an Orc, of course, you have the best tier 3 expansion possibility with the tiny Great Hall that 1-0 shouldn't really be able to clobber down. We get the Torrent, we get the Kodo upgrades, we get the TC as a 3rd hero. We still have that bigger mana and greater heal. Like, the inventory is not too well, but the consumables, he has a good drink on a Monday.
Yeah, I even like it when the small items from the early game get min-maxed. Oftentimes you don't have this the inventory space to hold on to things like gauntlets, but if you can hold on to them and you do have the space in your inventory, those are actually pretty good on a TC. Like, every little thing can help. Also the Mantle of Intelligence of Shadowhunter, like you see here, and this is, yeah, a dream come true for Lin. He's on tier 3, he has not lost a single unit yet. He killed a bunch, he's far ahead, he's got the levels, he's creeping up more. I will say, if he loses this map, that's gonna be a triggering loss.
Yeah. As so often when it's a 1-0 series, I'm coming back to the pattern that I recognize. 1-0's first game of the series, oftentimes the weakest of them. That has changed in the past 2 weeks, I felt, but here today against Lin, falling back into old habits, for now at least. But as long as there's a Coil Nova possibility, let's never rule the Undead out. We all know how strong it is.
A very aggressive exchange in the early game where we saw all those hero kills. The game indeed slowed down a lot. 1-0 was feeling weak, so he just prepped passively. And Lin's an Orc player, so he always loves to creep and delay the game and draw it out, in this matchup especially. The triple hero Orc has the potential to outshine, outperform the Undead triple hero. So the longer the game goes, is normally indeed quite good. TC now 2, Blade Master is 4. I mean, that is the absolute Orc dream. Having Blade 4 before the first real fight to have the crit and the stats and the Windwalk ready. That's just wonderful.
Exactly. Also love to see the sentry wards here. 120 is just finishing the burrow upgrade with which you can out micro a little bit, save the fiends, but if you have solutions like that, why bother? This is the big quote-unquote push by 120. Bunch of ghouls, bunch of skeletons, but Lin is ready with fortified, no tower, no spikes. Eer0 is suffering a little bit, but yeah, it's no discussion that this is all in for 120.
First End Snail on Destroyer, can't quite yoink it in. Headhunters, by the way, don't have Berserker upgrade yet, but the shop is still standing, and this is always important. First Stomp is in, here comes the critical strike against the Fiend, that's a kill because of level 2 crits. If this was level 1 crit, would have been a save, and this is how levels in many different ways will be making a difference here. Coil Nova, as you mentioned before, still always dangerous. That's one Headhunter taken out. They might not even be remade. Actually, they are. Berserker upgrade, in fact, now is coming in. Silence on the TC. Can't stomp at the moment, unless he wants to use the Eer0 Potion. He is going to use it. He is going to break it. Blade Master's hurt. Finds himself in a bit of a surround. He's getting healed. Needs the heal potion as well, but still taking a lot of damage. Frenzy Ghouls indeed doing good DPS here, but so does the Torrent. So does the rest of the Orc Army. Going in for the DK once more with the Hex Focus Fire. That is the third hero kill of the game. And certainly the GG now.
Despite the Eer0 Potion, man, DK was hexed, couldn't use it. Lich in trouble one more time. This feels like history of the bottom fight is repeating. Double kill Lin, not losing the blade. Super convincing fashion. As we said, close series between them are the norm. It's very rare that one of the players just wipes the other. The last 3-0 is 1.5 years away. Like, no. In the past. So we should expect a strong 1-0, especially on his losing streak.
The Acolyte Scout is going to see right away what the Blade's up to, and the opening by Lin looks very similar once again. A little bit of creeping at the start, looking for some items and a quick level 2. Starting off with crit as well, you're going to be forced to creep to level 2 first. Can't really do that with, without Windwalk. In the meantime, the Death Knight in the center, taking the neutral camp that is not clearly assigned to one of two players, the little green camp, and then coming in for the attempted coil steal. This is looking like a good start so far for 1-0 if he gets that steal right here.
Lovely creep route indeed, plus deny on the Acolyte, no bonus experience. Windwalk and Dust, they play nicely around each other, and 1-0 coming in with the rabies, aggressive coil early on. Is that securing the Mammoth? The ghouls are coming in, no chance for Lin to do anything here, and he's missing out on an important item.
And getting kind of punished here for the crit first, right? If he had Windwalk, he could put more damage on the Death Knight, could maybe threaten the last hit right there, but misses on that, now half a level behind. And this is not the ideal start, really. 1-0 with a good realization. Notices, well, if you're trying to creep level 2, and you're doing that without Windwalk, then I can steal those last hits and get a nice early lead.
Pretty smart, eh? Pretty smart. As if these guys know what they do. I see Krizer87 in chat. That is our first sub ever. 15 years ago or something. Incredible that you're still with us. Love to see that. Lin, pivoting a little bit and evasion creeping while still stealing XP away from 1-0 side of the map. He went home for a little shopping trip, new Rod of Necromancy. Lin's still struggling with that level 2, man. The Sasquatch is so powerful. He's just waiting for a coil, isn't he? It's 6 steal by 1-0. Item this time to the blade. He needs that ring of protection. Little sidestep, little heal self, but yeah, Lin's in trouble.
Terrible early game, dude. I've rarely seen a crit first build being punished this hard. The Death Knight is almost 2 levels ahead. Insanely good scouting by 1-0, by the way. With the Acolyte, you saw where the blade was at the start, and here, importantly, with the Skelly, sees the blade creeping down here. Again, comes in with the punish, steals with the coil. That is a gigantic lead on the first hero. This is as bad as the first game was, as insane of a position now, positively speaking, is this now for 1-0.
Love to see how these guys can counter each other without changing much when it comes to heroes and units. Like, obviously, we oftentimes talk about first hero picks and army composition, but so much in Warcraft is about army movement, creep patterns, scouting, and punishing your opponent.
Death Knight grabbed the next camp as well. He got the Wand of Mana Steel that's in fact available on both sides. And once the Lich is out with the Coil Nova, this Undead army, even if it's just small, is going to be very strong at pickoffs, especially against the Headhunters. It was once again one grunt into Headhunter opening. And Lin has a long mountain to climb this game. He's going to need triple hero, Torrents, level 3 Blade, level 3 Shadow, level 2 TC. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities for 1-0 to punish that and perhaps make it an impossibility.
We gotta say though, to put this in perspective, the loser's choice picks are a bit stronger for the loser, as you have fewer vetoes in this system prior to the first pick. So 1-0 has to win this. Like, if he wants to make this a series, he has to win this. Scouting continues. Shadowhunter is out. I wonder where he's going for. Like, there's not too much left here on the left-hand side, but maybe he's just looking for the DK.
I died before in the early game, but this time he is full HP with some decent stat items. Shadowhunter comes in with a block. There's a speed scroll here as well, by the way. That's dangerous. He's going to pop it right away. The Blade Master has been hit. The block is fantastic. One of Mana Steel on both sides. Here comes the Lich. What's he supposed to go for? Frost Armor or Nova? He's going for the Frost Armor. And the DK just barely gets away. Less than 100 HP. One more Hex could be his end. And the Shadowhunter has the mana now. No, he doesn't. One of Mana Steel on both sides. The heal potion. The backstab. Oh! Ooh, and he survives. And now the Shadowhunter is the one in trouble. But there's no Nova.
Oh man, the life-saving Frost Armor. The one hit with the Frost Armor applied saves the DK. So he can move to the shop, get the potion, save himself. Incredible save by 1-0. This could have been the beginning of the turnaround for Lin. If he takes out the first hero, that is phenomenal. And now he's standing there, invested so much. The speed scrolls, the mana, the creep time. But the RNGs just wasn't with him, and 1-0 can continue to dominate the way he did before.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big W again for 1-0. Almost was a disaster, but that's so much mana wasted, so much creeping time wasted, where the Shadowhunter didn't really improve on his condition at all. That was a last steal as well by the Lich, by the way. Everything is going right for 1-0 this game.
Two very one-sided maps so far. Thank you very much, Soul 8man, for the raid. Much appreciated. Also, Reaver for the 49 month. Yeah, we have the classic ghoul dominance now. And if 1-0 doesn't mess things up in a drastic fashion, this should be his game. Late. Oh man, he almost had the steal, but the Lich was once again a little bit faster. Reveal against the Blade focuses him entirely. Coil, Nova, game over.
Still revealed, the DK behind him, and that's a kill, and that might be game. Shadowhunter wasn't close enough. Didn't even get the level up from the creep camp. Item also with the parry up isn't that good. Dark Ranger now added in, and this is looking like Mission Impossible right here. And I don't know if Lin is Tom Cruise.
Then we'd share a birthday.
Tom Cruise has the same birthday as you?
Yep. Well, different year.
I saw that he was holding hands with Ana de Armas.
Yeah, so do I.
Most beautiful woman in the world, dude. Goddamn, Tom Cruise still has it.
Oh man, Lin, of course, also still has it, but not here on Springtime. The shop is gone, no orb, no expo, no potion, and with the burrows going down, no hope.
2-1-1 levels. This is the nightmare for the Orc. You're hoping for the late game. You're hoping for strong heroes. This timing is just coming too early. This is why Undead can look very overwhelming and steamroll the Orc. If they had a great early game, the power spikes are just so different. Undead right now with Frenzy and the triple hero and the easy Orc pickup, even on low levels. That's the thing. Undead army, even on low levels, can be really good. Level 2 DK sometimes is enough. If all heroes are level 1 or 2, that's great news for the Undead. In this case, of course, the DK even a lot higher.
Yeah, you can't really hope for Lin's Saint Sword here. The crits are very underwhelming. I deeply fall in love with Frost Armor, whether that is against the Demon Hunter, whether that's here against the Blade Master. It adds so much utility. And again, one of these situations here, I mean, it's just a Headhunter, right? But simply the fact that the nuke arrives a split second earlier than the heal wave, and he can't really go for the save right there. It's just embodies what this entire map was about. 1-0 with an Expo now, making sure that Lin doesn't have a cheeky pocket Expo somewhere, takes the Sasquatch, and again, like, if you're ahead, get further ahead.
Then would, I don't know, need to creep the entire map and get him an expansion to come back into this game. 1-0 is not going to give him that easy of an opening. Get level 4 so early. Level 4 versus level 2 on the first heroes, I mean. And that is about as clear as it gets.
It is, and Lin can't even go up in supply now because he was missing the burrows. That is 320 gold and 80 lumber that you can't put into army. And ghouls are, of course, incredibly cheap. One of the cheapest units that you can build on tier 1. And continues his rampage here. Even if you kill the DK, I wonder if that's gonna be enough.
Fires on the shadow. That's a bit scary. Nova is again a danger. It's only level 1 Nova at the moment. That's perhaps one thing that is lacking so far for the Undead. Here's a good stomp, trying to get over Devour, but good counter micro against those Kodos as well, minimizing the danger of the Devours. Oh, lucky purges. Lucky purges and lucky crits. That's the one way perhaps Lin has a chance.
From my latter games, I can tell you, Orb of Lightning now has a 100% proc rate, not only on Statues and Destroyer, but all of your units. But for 1-0, that seems to be a little different, thankfully. He's equipped for these hero focuses with the Frost Armor, with an Invo Potion, with the Silence. 3 Kodos as well. I wonder, like, is that the correct move?
I mean, there's not too many Fiends to counter them. It is some piercing damage, perhaps, against Destroyers. In general, though, a lot of Destroyers here would be very hard for the Orc still to deal with, I would say. Nova, and again the heal wave's too late. Again and again this happens. This, so crazy. This map, just everything seems to be working for 1-0 and nothing seems to be working for Lin.
Yep, from start to finish, the 50-50s always go to 1-0. And I'm a bit curious why Lin is staying in this game. Like, yeah, he said 50, but that's about it. Maybe for the fans, for the show. I think he could have tapped out like a couple of times here already. He's trying once again, which is of course nice compared to just tapping out. The Kodos are rather sturdy against the Coil Nova. That does help, but apart from that, he's just lacking firepower left and right.
TC is back. You know, normally at this point in the game, even when the TC is out of mana, still him providing the aura is a good help for the entire Orc army. But he doesn't have that level. The Blade Master doesn't have the level 3. The Shadowhunter doesn't have the level 3. It is so much down to the levels here. That of course all comes back to the early game. And 1-0, he's not just working with the level advantage, he's working with the Expo advantage as well. That one's getting fortified, going for a Banshee house, why not? He has so many advantages. Lin, not even aware that there is an expansion. Perhaps he has the read that there might be. After all, the expansion was cleared at the start of the game. But counter expansion isn't really in the cards either. There's just no security for that, no money for that, no chance for that.
Unfortunately, yeah, Lin would love to improve on these levels, but 1-0 won't allow that. Nothing's allowed really on map 2. A continuous demise of the leader in this series. He gets the proc once again. Do we have any reveal? Oh, yes we do. Okay, that is nice. Nuke on the Blade Master. Get out of my game. Back to the lobby. If the blade falls, all hope is lost anyway. Nice save by Lin, but now the Taurens are being attacked by Destroyers, which is in general the hard counter. But for how this game has gone, the fight for Lin is alright. He's doing the best he can. He's trying to threaten 1-0 a little bit, sending a message for the games to come, maybe, and still hoping for like 7 crits in a row.
And the crit levels here lacking is really painful. Not having claws, really painful. Like, the Blade is the one who has to take out all the Destroyers, basically. With a little bit of Kodo help, maybe.
Yep.
One Kodo is going to go down here. Fiend returns. TC finally got the level 2 from something. Not even sure
Devour, maybe?
what that was. Yeah, but that's... At last he's going to be able to get the aura. And now he can use 3 salves over 2 minutes to try to heat up this one torrent.
That's a bit of a problem, the sustain for Undead. He has a little bit of long distance mining. I like that cheeky move. Lin, interestingly, going for Windwalk 2, has now identified that there is an expansion and that Banshees are coming. But yeah, it's just another sign that 1-0 is getting further and further ahead.
This does cost the Undead indeed quite a lot of gold. And if Lin was in a better position here with stronger heroes, with a stronger army, maybe now he could throw down a tiny Great Hall. But in this game, we still see all the advantages on 1-2-0. 62 supply, and we're shooting up even more. Creeping up in the middle even more. Next big item being picked up. Sort of accuracy. Ain't that nice? Dark Ranger about to hit level 3. In the DK, even 4.5 by now. Lin just so far behind in so many ways. But he's giving it a shot still.
Yeah, he needs an extraordinary fight. Despite Blade Master level 3 still lacking the damage because it's only Windwalk, no crit. TC finally got an aura. He is very squishy though, even if he appears mighty and tanky as the bull he is. He needs 2 heal potions as he will be the center of attention. This spell isn't here yet. The Walker's still working on upgrades, and that will spread curse to at least the Blade Master. Okay, we're not fighting that anymore. 68 undead supply. Let's not suffer anymore. Let's go. Game 3 with a tied series. Hello viewer, you are watching the Dolphin Warcraft Super League, an amazing tournament with 200 matches over 2 months where 15 players are competing for $28,000. To be able to broadcast this, we had to acquire the broadcasting rights from the sponsor and organizer. We gladly did this because it's peak content and just an amazing competition. We had to pay from our own pockets though, and if you like what we do and if you like that we bring you the games free of charge, then you can help us make it worth it. At backtowarcraft.com/support, you find all the ways to support it, whether that's a Twitch sub or a YouTube membership or a dono or a Patreon, or just grab a little bit of our merch in the stream description. Thank you for your attention, and now have fun with the games.
Echo Isles 2.2 for our next map pick. This is going to be Lin's choice. Has become much better of an Orc map than it used to be. Having the marketplace for claws is always great for Orc, but the size of the map, the few creeps, were always a problem. Nowadays, with a couple more creep camps added in, 5 gold mines in total, I would say this is much more playable as a late game Orc map. And as we know, it's all about the late game for the Orc.
Absolutely. We've seen some expansion plays here by other undeads, which seem to be a bit on... Whoa. Mr. Remo Demo. This is Mirror Image.
Mirror Image. Now we're talking. Mirror Image Headhunters? Is that the build? Do we see that returning?
It's Mirror Image Grunts.
Players' forces are under attack. A town is under
There is
siege.
no war mill.
Okay.
There is now a war mill. Mirror Image Grunt into Headhunters? You get a lot of coverage. And 1-0 the Madman is maybe expanding with the DK. Oh, is he playing the Pit Lord strategy?
Great thing with Mirror Images, you can indeed scout well. Normally in the early game with only 1 grunt and 1 blade, scouting is not that easy. As we know, Orcs never want to use the peons. They need their lumber. And yeah, fast expansion will be. Blade Master is satisfied just to creep up on his side. Of course, Mirror Image makes creeping easier. First of all, you take less damage, so you need less money for heal salves. And secondly, it does increase your damage output by a little bit. Not by much, we're not trying to exaggerate, but it increases creeping speed by a bit. And the expansion cannot really be cancelled with so few units there being available for Orc. Or is there perhaps a possibility with Mirror Image? I don't really think so.
Mirror Image Windwalk, by the way. He has the illusion up. This Blade Master will not be attacked as it is invisible. He is distracting. He gets the surrounded, but the blade is free. And the grunt as well. What a genius strike by Lin. The question is, of course, how do you get out? But with Windwalk, you should. It's an anti-expansion play by Lin. 1-0, trying to get the grunt surrounded. But this Expo shall not be saved. Gets the hit. Oh, and the cancel. The grunt will possibly fall. Nice surround close again. Coil is not in threshold of killing. We get the heal self applied as well. What a wonderful play by the War Chief.
It's save the grunt there as well. That would have been perfect, but that was basically impossible to do. Gonna get his heal selves cancelled a couple of times, but that was certainly a good delay. That was more than a minute, I think. So that's 600 gold. in the coffers, or not in the coffers, I should say, for the undead, and more of a timing for Lin to possibly counter-expand. Is that the idea, I wonder? Or what shall be the plan? We're seeing Shadowhunter, we're seeing Headhunters, we're seeing Bestiary. Is it double Bestiary? I know it is. Bestiary Totem. Radar Walker can be very, very strong here on tier 2, because normally the big problem for the Walkers, of course, is Destroyers. But those will be very delayed this game.
Okay, 1-0 needs a lot of time. He got the 10 Acolytes. He is committed, and he's on tier 1 for a long time. Ghouls will be strong fighters, even without Frenzy. Of course, they are not unbeatable, especially when Walkers are coming in, you get the magic damage. Lin Scout sees that. Is a bit too far progressed. Let's move to the north and do some damage in the main while my tier 2 army is coming together, and I unlock my true potential with the Shadowhunter out.
Ideally, Lin would love to keep 1-0 busy here, preventing from taking the next camp, preventing from getting level 3, but can't do that forever. DK now moving out towards the shop. The time has been bought for the expansion. Gonna be up in 10 seconds as the Blade Master crept another small camp, and he got some nice little items here. The inventory isn't crazy or anything like that, but we got some gloves, we got some claws, we got a little ring, and that helps boost things already.
Okay. I wonder if Lin is aware of the Pit Lord strategy and if 1-0 is going for it. He went for an early graveyard that could indicate themes, which would be the regular transition. Maybe also just for Spirit Towers for some more static defense. At the moment, Lin is just gobbling up the map, grabbing some items, great attack speed, good damage output as a whole.
High.
And we get another sub. Thank you, JJ Xudo, for the 37 months.
Lin taking a look at the undead main base and sees, oh, there's no narrow tower here. Well, then let's take a fight. Yes, sir, gladly. Canceling the graveyard, by the way, is always very painful for undead. It takes a long time to build, so 1-0 wants to defend that here as much as he can. But the DK shows up now for the defense, and he has level 3, so that coil is very good. Kills on the Headhunters could be easy.
That's right. We will get Spirit Link in a second. The first Raider has arrived. Very careful positioning with that. Endsnare not ready, but in just a second it is. He did go into double Bestiary eventually, by the way. So it's Rex, Bestiary, Totem, double Bestiary.
And that means no counter expansion, or perhaps not? I'm really not sure. Maybe Lin wants to take a great fight first, kill a lot of ghouls, and throw 1-0 back in his power spike. Because a 50 supply Radar Walker army will annihilate ghouls normally. But I guess there's one little wrinkle in that, and that is the Death Knight. Death Knight is, as mentioned before, level 3 with a ton of mana, but still no lich for a while.
Exactly. 20 seconds off with the Altar is 1-0. Shout out to Blizzard once again for providing us with this counter of production. And now we got Hex, and now we got Endsnare, and we got a hard-hitting Blade Master. Will this DK live? The surround is open! Lin with a little bit of a mistake. Now the ghouls are here, trying to save the situation.
We have a lot of Endsnare. Is it enough to force the kill? I'm not so sure. Here's the next Endsnare, waiting for the next Hex. The Blade Master isn't in range. There's not much damage against him. Is that surround closed this time? He's trying to fight out. Coil his way out. Kill off the Shadowhunter. Multiple heroes are now in trouble right here. Shadowhunter walks away. No heal self for him. The Death Knight, though, so hard to kill, will finally fall. That's level 4 for the Blade Master. But that was harder for Lin than he was hoping for, but he still got the big hero kill on the level 3 Death Knight.
My god, that was so close. 1-0 tried to go for the counter surround pretty much immediately, and it did work for a bit, but that's the Blade Master, of course, can go into Windwalk. Lin sees, alright, your DK is back. He's going for the kill once again, but he gotta be careful with the Shadowhunter. Don't lose that SH. Raider to the rescue with another Endsnare, and now we got a game.
Back on the Death Knight, he got the IRL Potion, some ghouls dying in the south. Lin needs this heal scroll like never before.
That's right. By the way, the Raider already had his hands up to intercept the staff, which 1-0 freshly bought, so wonderfully anticipating that play by 1-0. The chase was for once not better than the catch. Now the question is, how long can Lin stay competitive when it's only Raiders? This is, of course, historically pretty much a grubby play. Lin has displayed this on bigger maps like Twisted in matchups versus Happy, but this army is looking quite pathetic.
He didn't go for the counter expansion. He went for pillage, which didn't pay off yet. He's going for more raider upgrades with damage upgrade, attack upgrade, I should say. This is looking pretty all in to me. I think he has to destroy this expo with the mass raiders.
Yeah, which is...
He got the perfect item for it. He got the perfect item for it. Explode the beast.
Ooh, sick damage boost. 25% on everything. Levels are getting good. Lich is equipped really well. Burrow for Fiends. Tier 3 on the way. And we're not going for that expo. We're going straight for the throne.
Is it just instant Halls of the Dead? He's got a lot of ensnares here against the repair. And yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it. Here's Explode the beast. Oh, if this fails, the game's instantly over.
He doesn't have a TP, only a heal scroll. He might need it soon. No Nova yet, which is really helpful. And my god, the damage of Raiders, absurd. Tier 3 was done, but he didn't buy an orb just yet, so no benefits from that attack. Raiders in trouble, of course. Did he queue the Frenzy? No, he didn't. Neither did he queue the Destroyer upgrade. So this Tier 3, absolutely in vain.
Still have 2 mining bases. Tech is coming up right away again in the south. Lin is not really in a winning position here, is he? He's going tier 3 now. Got an aggressive shop in the middle of the map. I like that. He's got the tech lead still for a while. Maybe Lin here should try to keep fighting. Make use of the Spirit Link while it's still good, because it is obviously still good. As you mentioned, no Destroyer is still on the horizon.
For a long time. Oh man, you got attack to tier 2, you got attack to tier 3, and this is exactly what Lin needed. More time. He's going to tier 3 now, and then a tiny Great Hall can of course do wonders, just like every sub can do wonders for us. Thank you, Sonic, for the 5 years.
The town is under siege.
3 raiders being parked in the north. Maybe they're just gonna threaten the buildings a bit. There's no... Oh, there is a slow tower in the main base, so that might make things a bit tougher. But the Shadowhunter is still looking a little bit low level. Not too convincing here at the moment. There's also no Nova, by the way. So, not that much aggressive potential. Nice burrow, by the way. Saves that fiend. No easy kill right there. And here are the raiders. Back into the main. More pillage money.
Love to see that, but the ghouls are ready. Just like Burrow is ready against the focus, just like 120 has a TP ready for better defensive play and to get out of hero focus situations. But yeah, every hit is gold to finance that tiny Great Hall, and I think he's getting really close with tier 3 being 30 seconds away, and the Raiders again. Hit, hit, hit. This is like basically the equivalent of long distance mining.
Players' forces are under attack.
And he finds the next building he can attack without towers in range. And the shop can be quite easy to take out while the blade is creeping up in the south. He's almost level 4, by the way. So we're going to get the level 2 crit at last. And he's got some very nice items indeed. And there is enough gold for a tiny.
Great strategic mind displayed by Lin once again. No, okay, your big advantage is your economy. I'm gonna stay at 50, make my economy better that way, plus double down on pillage with the raider that I have, but they don't help me in creeping too much. And then I'm gonna double down on bases, and I'm gonna explode into Torrent eventually. And the Blade Master's looking fantastic as well if he gets some levels in. Might need to retrain, but maybe... okay, would love to have a level 2 crit for sure. But double claw, gloves, slippers, plus an orb coming up. That is fantastic, and now with crit 2 as well on top.
A player's forces are
120 really feeling neutered here without that tier 3. Undead so reliant upon it. Even with all that gold that he had this entire game, pretty much, with the Expo running. Without the tier 3, he's not really feeling ready to go out on the map. Especially against Mass Ensnare, of course. That can be very dangerous.
80 seconds till tier 3. This is still so much time. Lin leaves a Walker at the Expo against Skeleton Harass. I like that. Also, the Burrow is coming up, which is something that Focus has displayed was really effective. If he gets upgrades, which is coming as well. And hit and run onto the base once again. Alta down. Doesn't prevent tier 3 this time, but maybe a Crypt Lord, whatever. Another Rax is down as well, and this is all gold.
Of course, there's still no Frenzy, which makes these ghouls not really good defenders at all. With the upgrade kicking in, it's gonna change quickly. Lin, by the way, playing the greed game here. He could have gone into upkeep, but didn't do it yet. It looks like he feels, well, I got the proactive army here. I'm keeping him busy with raiders. I can decide when we really fight. And there's no need yet to spend all my gold.
That's right, especially since he has upgrades to go for, so he can keep the production busy while not paying extra upkeep. Like we're seeing now, the Ancestral Spirit, the Berserker upgrade, we had the Burrow upgrade before, so he is making progress, just not in upkeep. Now we got it. And another Ziggurat down, which is not keeping 1-0 supply block, but again, one strike after the next. We now got double Rex, double Beastery, and a Totem. So much production for Lin is possible, and he can plow through that 1300 gold bank in seconds.
I like that second barracks because 1-0 right now, all he's thinking is, when are the destroyers coming? When are the destroyers coming? When are the destroyers coming? This entire game, with Spirit Link, with Speed Scrolls, with the Raiders, with the Walkers, the thing he needs the most is destroyers, and that's what he's going to be heavily investing into as soon as he can. So Lin needs a counter, and that's why he's going double barracks, getting ready for a lot of Berserkers. I would also love to see some Bat Riders, actually.
The Headhunters are twice as good because there was no Dark Ranger for a long time. He adds some her now. Careful. Oh, Ensnare. Is it possible to grab her? She is the counter to the Headhunters usually, right? If she can reach. So having only level 1 Black Arrow and no silence is surely a weakness. You say Bat Rider? Bat Rider on 2 bases might work. There's no armor upgrade yet. And especially since the big threat is experience, Bat Riders make it so your opponent doesn't get experience if they explode. So could be a nice play indeed.
Let's celebrate our 2-year anniversary soon
The
at
shop,
Fairland.
he just spent all his money, tried to a moment ago, picks up an Invul Potion. Speed Scroll, perhaps a bit of a panic click there that wasn't exactly necessary. But he's got a backup shop at the expansion, can afford more Speed Scrolls from that. 1-0 though, he still finds himself with a supply lead. Can Lin hold here? It's not easy. He's got a strong blade and a strong shadow. The TC though, not so convincing.
And he's lumber stuck, huh? Or no, my overlay is stuck. Our overlay is stuck. Fixing that in a second. Right before the fight. Hopefully this all goes well. Off we go, or do we? There's so many claws. Timeout. Yeah, you don't want any spikes in that decisive fight. We have reveal. I don't think so. Oh, we do. We do have dust. We do have a pimp blade. Now, thank you. They were just waiting for our overlay to work again.
Going back and forth here. Doesn't want to commit in too hard just yet. Between the trees and the Great Hall, there seems to be a bit of a bottleneck. Might be difficult to get in there. Coil Nova for one easy kill. That's level 3 Lich. Big level up right there. Claws also on the Lich, not just on the Blade. And in we go. Lots of Ensnares flying. TC looking for the beautiful Stomp. Oh my god, dude. That's only level 1 Stomp, but somehow he hits the entire army. 1-0 just eats it. He doesn't have level 2 Dark Ranger yet. No silence. And the next Stomp is just as insane. But still, more Skellies can be raised.
We need more Headhunters. We need more damage. The Raiders are falling apart as they were the meat shield, basically. Blade in trouble. Reveal. Invul trying to take out that destroyer, but 1-0's coils are phenomenal. Trying to stop the bull now with Coil Nova. There is a shot. There is a potion. Last second. Run, cow. Run. And it's safe. Blade Master level 4 also in trouble. And the Spirit Link isn't enough. Heal Scroll ready on the Shadow Hunter. Not using it. Little bit of an oversight by Lin. And now he's in grave danger of losing this match.
Too much mana left on the Undead. Maybe he can do it even without the Blade. We'll see. The TC is still low HP, however, and the Skelly Snowball here can get very dangerous. Shadowhunter needs mana potions. He needs more juice to keep his army alive. 1-0 with a lot more gold, by the way, and Lin waiting for a long res on the Blade Master.
Oh my god, what a game. Overlay is too excited, crashed again. Too much action, that's for sure. A little bit of misrally on these Headhunters. It's 1-2 down. Lin's Expo still stands. 1-0 has a statue up. Super important to have the regen now. Blade Master back in 75 seconds or more. I don't know yet. Wait, where is it? I'm trusting too much on this overlay, I think. Yeah, 60 seconds it is.
Master desperately needed, but right now not with the army. The Berserkers here can be so easily killed. They don't have armor upgrades either, by the way. Next Nova, next kill. The Spiritling is now starting to work against the Orc. TC attempting to go back to the front line. Stomp is absolutely fantastic, but the damage is lacking right now.
I agree. Where are the Tauren, man? I am missing the Tauren left and right. It's so many headhunters. Piercing damage doesn't do much against the Fiends. Dark Ranger getting saved. And the damage, of course, in Fiends is quite a bit higher thanks to the anti-armor of Orb of Corruption. Spiritling feeding the Destroyer up and up, but Lin is just suffering from focus fire.
Taurens, yeah, I wasn't even considering them, but I think you're exactly right. Those Taurens were missing. Imagine if there's just 2 Taurens in the fight, in the big fight, but he never had them. The low numbers seem to be the problem here. I was thinking mainly he was going to need Berserkers, but the Taurens really, they seem to be the answer in this matchup at the moment, and they weren't there. The Blade Master has now come back, but no invuln on him. And the supply lead now huge on the Undead.
Love to see the reinforcements by 120. Also armor attack upgrade 3 and 1, and 120 takes the back-to-back win, turns the series around, and is now leading 2 and 1. He was under a lot of pressure. Great finesse by Lin throughout the entire match.
What can we say so far? This is going to be a fast tech Blade Master. I think Wyvern are back on the menu, boys.
Since the Super League is only returning for Chapter 2 this day, I want to remind you all, if 120 wins 3 and 1, he gets 5 points for the ranking. Lin would only get 1. If Lin wins here now, he got 2 points guaranteed, and 5th map would then determine who gets 4 points and who got 2 points. Late it is. Thankfully, we're not seeing any Farseer experiments. We're also not seeing any hero experiments on 120 side. No Lich, no Dreadlord. Yeah, what does this tell us? Aggressive Magpie Blade Master roaming around trying to steal items.
Fast tech to tier 2, trying to go for that Wyvern play, I would assume. Doesn't have to be necessarily, could still be a Berserker play into tier 2, but haven't seen the Wyvern yet, and the series hasn't gone exactly amazing, so I would be expecting that strat now to return. 120 scouted it early, sees where the blade is going, and knows that he has to get ready for the harass.
A player's forces
He
are
probably
under attack.
expected that before as well, but so far he moves out without a dust. Ring of Superiority, nice. Circlet on the blade, of course, wants to boost his HP, his damage, a little bit of mana as well, and nothing really to be done here except this little turtle. But 120 is so sure that this is happening. He's stalling for the Windwalk to run out, and Lin, a little bit too early. I know that feel.
Really good counterplay, something others have gotten really good against, knowing exactly how much damage a backstab will do, knowing how they can abuse that timing. And that makes it very hard for the Orcs nowadays to have a good early game against very clean undead counterplay. Getting one last hit here would be a successful Lin already, but if 120 does it well, then he's going to get none.
Exactly. And so far, this is looking incredibly clean for 120. I was about to say, now I'm jinxing him, but I don't. The best he can get is maybe some skeletons here now.
Yeah, he is slowing down the creeping by the undead, but perhaps not even by that much. It's harder to get the last hit here on the Ogre Warrior, because it's easier against medium armor with normal damage. So here 120 wants to play it safe. He's got the coil locked and loaded, uses it to get the last hit. Only a ring of protection for him, but a good experience.
Right on, 2.2, new Rod of Necromancy. Also DK not too hurt, even if he was. We do have fountains here during nighttime. Can take a little bubble bath and be very refreshed after. This almost looks like one of the standard meta matches that we've had on the previous patch, with a lot of Shadow Hunter creeping. Might even be a return to Wyvern due to the way this map is designed, with lots of vision over the trees. But 120, man, he is just oozing confidence right now.
Taking this camp away from the Orc side is also really good, because when that item is gone, Blade Master has a very tough time getting any damage boosting items for himself. 35 seconds into the shadows here.
And he lay a little trap. Keeps him busy. Ghoul reinforcements. More XP steal. DK level 2.6. Blade didn't get anything. Not even that one. He got every item and every point of XP. All that Lin got was one skeleton.
He's looking for a bestiary cancel as well.
Oh my god. That's not good, Revo!
It's a lot of skellies right here. And he's gonna get that as well. So much comes down to the wyvern timing. And that's a cancel. And he doesn't have the lumber for the bestiary to be built again.
Disaster, man. Disaster. Couple of ghouls falling now. But only one. Shadowhunter didn't go for a hex yet. He has 0 army. He has 1 wyvern coming to help with creeping, but 120 is well aware that Lin is under Zugzwang and needs to creep up now and can't pressure him really. It is an extraordinary situation that 120 position himself in.
Yeah, this is bad, bad news. There's one tiny glimmer of hope. The Death Knight is not level 3 yet. With Hex here, you can try to get some kills. But obviously, this is a terrible start for Lin once more.
Chaos One, thank you for the 55. He is putting so much effort into killing one ghoul, and that's due to the lack of wyvern. If you have wyvern, you can creep way bigger spots. Can go to your natural, can go to your lab, can maybe even try to go for the red, even though 120 has that scout up. And oh, I thought trying to body block. No, not really. Okay, he's taking the Ogre Lord to the candy shop. At least he's trying to. Maybe even inside his base, but that's also taken so much time.
It is time for the DK to now get level 3, as tier 3 is on the way for both players. Of course, a lot faster for the Orc. And the counter now to Wyvern is being made by 120 with Gargoyles, which I feel like is rare to see for him. Normally he tries to play with Fiends. And I think if it's the Gargoyle route, I think Lin's win chances increase significantly. I feel like 120 never was the best Gargoyle player, to be honest.
Lich is trying to snipe the Ogre. This cannot happen. You gotta Hex against this. You gotta block the Ogre as well, but Hex is on cooldown now. Scary, scary situation for Lin. He can't really defend the Lich at the moment. DK joins as well. This Ogre is so lost, man. What the hell? Doesn't want to go home anymore. Does he have the necessary damage? Hex again. Can't prevent Coil at Nova. No! And it rains, it pours.
Speed scroll used. Shadowhunter is looking for something here. Trying to catch the Lich, maybe. But he can't kill him. There's a coil.
Nice. Can't reach for the Hex. Slows down the Shadowhunter. The body block is great, but everything is slowed. Oh, boy. He's trying so hard with the body blocks, but if the Blade Master body blocks, he obviously can't do damage. Fully relying on Wyvern. And now he can't reach anymore. Can he? Wait a minute! He went for the deny, didn't work. Okay, Lin slows down the Lich, which is the MVP in this matchup, especially versus Wyvern. And for all the Orcs out there, there is a glimmer of hope.
Finally, something works out again for Lin. Okay, we're even in supply. And is setting up a tower even at home. That means perhaps he's going to ignore his main base for a while and go now heavy creeping. Now he has the Wyvern. He's about to have Envenom Spears. And with that, he has really good creep speed. And indeed, there are still lots of creeps on the map.
Yeah, Lin with his back against him. He needs levels, like obviously. Can he snipe the Gargoyles? This air encounter is very, very much a numbers game. If you have a good number of Gargoyles, you got a good shot in the fight. If you have a good number of Bats and Wyvern, you can dominate that fight. We do have, by the way, a Fiend transition, but Lin didn't see that yet. But apparently he's anticipating it, because TC is coming, and that is very good news.
Did he cancel the Fiend again? Kind of looks like it. Then he's creeping up the next camp, getting double level 2 finally, almost forgetting the item. Yeah, you want to pick that one up. That's pretty important, I hear. Big heal potion, quite good. Although, the thing that might be most in danger of dying, perhaps more the Wyvern than the heroes. But still, heal potion, always nice. And 120 here, yeah, not in the most comfortable position. 40 supply only, and right now, not even much anti-air. What is his anti-air?
Yeah, a Lich.
it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. He does have web, so he can go into Fiends whenever. Benny Grand, thank you for the €5. Rah, 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 indeed. Love to see that scouting by 120. Lin currently heavy on Wyvern. 4 Wyvern is also transitioning into Kodos. Love that he goes for spikes, and oftentimes overlooked upgrade for orcs. But 120's vision in the north, man. Oh, you get jealous of that vision. Everything covered.
A player's forces are under attack.
Now Lin has the triple hero, and now he loves to just play the creep game, level them all up. Every single level up, basically, is a big deal, with perhaps the exception of X.
Isn't it funny
So far,
how we
Blade
both...
Master items pretty weak, by the way.
Isn't it funny how we both kind of slandered the Mass Wyvern play, and now, with his back against the wall, when desperation is at its highest, the Wyvern might be the play that saved him the series?
If we see it 1 out of 5 maps, I'm fine with it. I just don't want to see it every goddamn game.
That is very reasonable.
Big item here for Lin, hoping for something good. Scourge Bone Chimes. I mean, it's good for the blade, but is it good then if it's only good for the blade?
No,
Well,
it's only
Philosopher's Wonder.
fantastic for the Torrent Chieftain, of course, as well. Worst case, it's good to have it on your side and not on the ghoul side. We see a Temple of the Damned for 120, Fiend numbers rising, Fiend's Banshee statues. That's gonna be the ultimate army as Lin is pivoting into Tauren now. This is where Warcraft is the greatest, when we just switch up strategies, and that's an achievement of the previous patches and also players being a lot more educated now than 2 years ago. I love when we have strategy in real-time strategy.
Map is quickly being crept up. Indeed, there aren't so many creeps on Concealed Hill. They're all going to be taken in a moment, and then we can take stock. Who's got the better items? Especially damage. Lich has double circlet and gloves. That's okay. DK has a ton of armor, which is okay. Dark Ranger has nothing. TC has 1 really good item. Shadow Hunter has nothing. Blade Master, he's harassing. He's got almost nothing. He's got a circlet and an orb. So really, the heroes aren't looking stacked at all.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. That will require Torrent to do some damage. Wyvern do a lot of damage, of course. I would, for the fight, almost like to see Mirror Image. It does feed the Destroyers, but against this Lin army, with Bat Riders and Wyvern, Destroyers shouldn't really be a thing. It's only one bat, though. Oh, these decisions are so tough to make now.
Blade Master has taken out quite a few acolytes in the undead base, now staffing home. This is hundreds of gold lost for 120. And now the upgrades, the defensive ones, are paying off. Spike barricades and cement upgrade. These three is gonna go down, but the Torrent Totem safe in the back can still produce. Then again though, it's only researching the upgrade right now.
That will take another 30 seconds. He can't push into upkeep. It's a lot about this Destroyer, and of course keeping heroes alive. You don't want to lose your consumables that early. Anxiety, thank you for the sub. I'm getting anxiety for Lin here. I'm getting anxious. This is looking like a very oppressive 120, but Lin is letting his base work against the undead.
They're still standing, wants to defend it perhaps. Decent damage onto the Lich. Quick repair. Nova hitting well right there though.
Yeah, no splits against it. Blade Master in general in a lot of trouble. Good news for Lin is he can afford to lose this burrow. He's not going to be supply blocked. Now he's pumped. So is 120. Fiend's Banshee statue versus Walker Kodo. No Torrent. Makes sense. He needs solutions against Curse.
Burrow is gonna fall. He can still produce though. Power has been helping out quite a bit, trying to save the peons into the next burrow. With these 2 units coming out, I think Lin has to take the fight. Down by 5 supply though.
Ghouls falling, also very hurt. 120 switching back. He does have exactly the resources for a heal scroll, which might save these ghouls. Walkers, nice damage towards ghouls as well. What do you focus first? Lin's army still rather tiny. He's going for Pulverize over the first Torrent. Blade Master needs to be saved, has the potion. You gotta be incredibly quick now. Nova hits a lot again, aiming for the Dark Ranger, but saved by 1-0.
For the Storms, by the way, where are they? Some AoE, something's going to be necessary, but it seems like 4-0, nothing is dying, is it? Destroyer even still up in the air, getting focused now by the piercing, but the coil is there every time. The coil seems to be there just in the nick of it. TC has 2 more Storms, maybe even 3. They're waiting for the next usage of it. Quarter Beast towards the left is getting away. That would be very lucky for Lin if he doesn't lose that one, but he lost a lot, though, outside of that one.
10 supply down. Fiend's not getting engaged here. He just wants to run, trying to take out the Banshees. They did a lot. Great damage mitigation in the absence of a lot of Dispel. Kodo indeed did survive. We're grinding our teeth at the tower once again. Lin in desperation mode now, trying to save the series with whatever he can, but we mentioned it earlier, this Blade Master is not designed to carry a game.
Lin from the shop, he didn't get the level 4. TC didn't get the level 3. Finally have a Torrent. Honestly, the Walkers didn't seem to be doing much that game. If you go for a Walker early with Disenchant, it was research, he didn't, however, dispel the silence. So it seems like that Walker kind of missed its purpose.
Yeah. Everything was a little off by Lin, not as crisp, that's world-class crispiness that we're used to seeing. Maybe a bit overwhelmed, maybe the fight came like a second too early. You also mentioned the Storms were a little bit late. We do have double invul now. As 1-0's roadmap is clear, he wants to nuke a hero and win the game that way. Again, we see lumber problems by Lin, by the way.
At the army here at first glance, not looking that convincing, but there's some playmaking potential. If he gets these Devours on the Fiends, if he gets 3 of them, all of a sudden we're looking at a different state.
Blade Master is the only anti-air really, outside of these tiny Kodo shots. Fiends are the problem though, and the Torrent are designed to take the Fiends out alongside Kodo if you want to commit. You can strike a couple of them. 1-0 is working on an expansion, stalling, but Lin has better economy.
And Snare hasn't been used yet. Maybe he's hoping for some purges. Another Raider is being made and a Torrent.
He wants this fight. Here we go. Here's the Stomp. We got a Raider. We got no End Snare though. Did he forget about that? Second Raider coming in. Oh, this is not looking too great. The Kodos are being nuked. The Blade Master's doing his darnest to do some damage to that Lich. Purge comes in. No more Frost Armor. The coil arrives perfectly as so often. And Lin, he needs his Saint Sword. Where are the crits? He can't go for the coil. Needs an invul right now. And the fight shifts a little bit. TC in trouble. Invul potion for him as well. Blade Master can reposition maybe one more time. Destro, kill, TC save.
But the level 3, that's huge as well. He's looking for the next Stomp, hits it. But no Kodos available anymore for the Devourer. 2 Kodos have fallen, the other one is already full. We have 2 Torrents now in the front line. But mana running low on Lin, somewhat. Blade Master back to the shop, looking what he can purchase. Supply is pretty even, but the Kodo loss is inbound. That's such an important unit. He's gonna lose it.
Ghoul is back as well, getting killed right away. Blade Master made it to the shop, I guess. Should be back in a bit, but is not. 1-0's Expo is up, not fully saturated. It's only 1 Acolyte, and 1-0 is an upkeep the entire time. 52, Lin back at no upkeep, and is aiming for some full mana stat use, but the focus fire is once again similar to Echo Owl's a bit too strong.
Expansion now being saturated. Could set up a narrow tower there as well. Another easy kill for 1-0. Takes out the Walker. And it looks like 1-0 is now far ahead. He's got the Expo lead on his side. Lin, this game, once more, didn't seem to come fully together. Is there a chance still for him? He's got lots of gold, in fact. Is Lin gonna dare to go for the greedy Tiny?
Maybe that's the last play available. Maybe this is what you have to do. I am a bit baffled by that Raider play. Does that make any sense to you? He went double Raider without End Snare. And now he has 1 left. He could push this expansion, of course, but he's on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, he must have forgotten about Ensnare. I mean, there's no reason to make Raiders outside of Ensnare.
There we go.
Even the greats sometimes make those mistakes.
Imagine that fight
There's-
with End Snare, man. He could have gotten the Lich, maybe. Tiny coming.
Yep, the Tiny's up, but Lin is going to need more than just the Tiny's also going to need some time. 2 minutes or so of mining would be wonderful for him to have. The Blade Master is trying to buy that time. Charging across the map. Gonna kill off some acolytes here. Force the undead back, maybe. Or is Wonder just going to ignore it? Looks like he's just going to ignore.
Can we fortify that position a little bit? Blade Master has a staff. Can easily walk back. Trying to work on a shop. 20 seconds. 1-0 will arrive earlier. Not falling for that game of chicken. How should he respond anyway? He doesn't have a staff. He's on the opposite side of the map. He doesn't have a town portal. He has to attack.
They got level 4 from all of the acolyte kills, by the way. It's also great. But what's also great then is Skellies. Dark Ranger raising them quickly from the peon kills. Lin cannot afford to lose these peons.
This is how it's done, mate. You want to threaten economy? I'll show you. This might be the final fight, and if 1-0 wins, this is the final fight of the series. Is it another 3-1 in a row? Torrent connecting nicely, but they have to chew through so many skeletons.
Kodo Beast getting focused as well. Disenchant against the Spiritling. Kodo Beast keeping that one alive would be so important. Getting healed up a little bit once again. Blade Master, as mentioned before, had the level 4. The Stomp is beautiful on this TC. But the Torrents have to bring the damage. The Blade can't do it all by himself.
And there's no revive for these Torrent. You gotta keep them in the fight. 1 down, 2 down, 10 supply. Dark Ranger level 4. 1-0 set up this fight beautifully. And it looks like Lin is looking for these Hail Marys, but he can't find them. Blade Master in the back takes care of statues. And yeah, that's the only target right now. 3 destroyers up, mostly without mana. No more regen. Can Lin hold one more time?
17 crit. I think that's the answer right there. It's just not good enough.
Yep.
These items are just too weak on the Blade Master here.
Blade might fall. Blade might fall. Oh, he just ran out of range. He is alive one more time. But will the coil just fall to the TC also?
Are under attack.
Lin is barely breathing.
I think he's about to suffocate. Everything is being taken away from him right now. The peons are all dead. No mining anymore. It's a Death Knight at level 5. In fact, the levels 1-0 are amazing. 5-4-4. The Mass Wyvern play being attempted again on this map. It looked a little bit rough until it looked a little bit better. But the Wyvern, they don't seem to be doing it in the end anymore. That first bigger fight, I think that one really could have been done better by Lin. Since then behind and 1-0. Today not giving these leads away.
Expo down. There was more than 600 gold evaporating. What's left in the tank?
A player's
Not much, as it seems. He sees the Blade Master once again, courtesy of a shade, I guess, or maybe a ward, or maybe a reveal. 40 food. That's nothing.
In theory, these fountains for the orcs can be amazing. With the heroes, the Kodos, the Taurens. Almost everything here is high HP. Except for the Raiders. Raiders without Ensnare, man, they don't do so much.
That's right.
A player's forces are under attack.
No more gold for Lin. All in. 20 food down. He needs a fight of a lifetime.
Once they're close to the main base. He finds the DK somewhat exposed. If he gets the hero kill here, there might be a way back. But he's got the TP. He's got still lots of armor. The Frost armor also is helping him out. He's right next to the shop. And there's no way to do this anymore. GG it is. 1-0 with a 3-1. The next victory against Lane.
3 in a row as well. And let's think back to how one-sided this first game was on Hammerfall. Felt like 1-0 truly wasn't woken up or something was off there, but the big comeback starting on springtime. Holy moly, 1-0, flipping the switch, turns it up to 11.